Hotel history is created for adult audiences. Content may not be suitable for all listeners. Discretion is advised. You're listening to Hotel History. We take you with us through the sordid history and scandals of some of the world's most famous and infamous hotels. I'm Dieta.
And I'm Yael. Let's get started.
Ooh. That's my ghost. So Halloween is coming, so of course we had to bring you guys some ghost stories from haunted hotels. So we are starting off with what is supposed to be the most haunted hotel in America. Although I love that every haunted hotel is like, we're the most haunted hotel in America.
Every place claims it. So which one is the most haunted hotel?
This one has been backed by a lot of like major ghost hunting organizations, I believe, as the most haunted hotel. So they bring some receipts for their claim. But this is
No. They have the best PR. So
yeah, there you go.
The best PR haunted hotel.
This is the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa in Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
I feel like that would be haunted.
Anything in the Ozarks is, immediately. I'm convinced. That's all you had to say. So this hotel was built in 1886, and it started out as a luxury hotel for all of the wealthy elite who were coming to the area for the healing waters of the springs everywhere. I think there's over 60 springs in the area.
Oh, wow.
Irish stonemasons actually cut and stacked 18-inch thick limestone blocks to construct this hotel into what is basically a 5-story castle. It's really gorgeous. The blocks themselves were quarried about 10 miles away near White River and brought to the site by horse-drawn wagons.
Oh,
I know. And these Irish stonemasons were actually very skilled workers who were brought over especially for this task. Like they needed their specific skills.
Well, when you look at the hotel on the website, just right away, they have this video of the hotel in different seasons. It's actually really cool. You can see the hotel in summer, spring, fall, winter. This just looks like a beautiful hotel. It doesn't give me haunted vibes.
Well, just wait.
Okay.
The property went through several transformations throughout its history. So, of course, it started out as a hotel, then it was bought by a railroad company, and then as that sort of went downhill, it turned into a women's college and dormitory, then a notorious cancer hospital, and then now back into a hotel.
Okay, you just touched upon where the ghosts are from.
Maybe.
Yeah. The hospital.
So this has a lot of different specters and ghosts that people are supposed to see around the property. So we're going to start with a few, and then before we get into the meatier aspect of the cancer hospital, obviously that's where this is going.
So our first haunted story is about a 4-year-old child named Brecky. And he was the child of Richard and Mary Breckenridge Thompson. So is that where the nickname Brecky came from? Breckenridge? Okay, that's cute. He died in the hotel due to complications of appendicitis. He has been seen throughout the hotel, often bouncing a ball. That's really sad.
I know.
That's not haunted. That's just sad.
I have a feeling probably it's a lot of the other children coming to stay at the hotel that are seeing Brecky. I bet he tries to play with them.
4-year-olds. That's so...
I know. That's so sad. Your appendicitis at 4 years old.
Isn't it crazy that that would kill someone? Like now you everyone knows the signs and you go straight to the hospital and whatever. But I guess they weren't there. Wait, was this when it was a hospital?
No, this was when it was a hotel still.
Yeah. Well, maybe they should have come when it was a hospital.
No, he would have died faster.
That's true. Hospitals back then were not hospitals like today. Aw, poor Brecky.
And next up is Dr. John Fremont Ellis, who was the hotel's in-house doctor in the late 19th century when the hotel was first built. He is most often seen in room 212, or more often he is smelled near that room or in that room because he often smoked a cherry pipe tobacco in his office. So people will smell tobacco in the air, even though that is obviously smoking is prohibited.
I love that a doctor was smoking. Even back then, it's still kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, that was back when doctors told you smoking was good for you.
Yeah, it's way before they knew anything. But that's it. He was just smoking, and then he died, and then he haunts the place.
Yeah.
Is he looking for his lost cherry pipe tobacco?
Maybe so. Maybe I think he just enjoyed his work, and so that's where he wants to spend eternity.
Oh, well, I'm thinking people are just like, they're on the ultimate retirement plan, right? The next story is about Morris, the famed hotel cat, was known as the hotel general manager for 21 years, and he was later buried on the hotel property, but is regularly seen and heard. I love a good cat ghost.
Ghost cats are top tier.
Yeah. Ghost cats are the best because, first of all, I just love that he was known as the hotel general manager for 21 years. Wait, the cat lived for 21 years?
Yeah.
Oh, that cat is haunting that place.
Absolutely.
He's like, I hung on for dear life.
I'm never leaving.
Yeah. And I love that his name is Morris. My cousin-in-law, his little kid that's his name, Morris. Aww. It's a very old person's name, but I feel like it's making a comeback.
I love all of these cats with positions of authority. Like there's the hotel manager, there's the mayor of some town was a cat. There was the library cat. Notice
that cats can get the job done. No one's giving those roles to a dog. I mean, dogs are action animals. They're like, oh, they're going to go and save you from the fire. A cat is directing the dog to the fire.
Yes.
He's like, listen, you got to go here. Don't ask questions.
Well, you know what cats love? Paperwork. Because I've never had any paperwork that my cat didn't immediately come try to participate in. So
it's true. If you're working at the computer, right away the cat.
Absolutely.
Like, what's going on? I can do it better. You're doing it wrong.
Our next ghost seems to be a little bit of a perv. Michael is said to have been an Irish stonemason who helped build the hotel in the 1880s. He tragically fell to his death while working on the hotel, and his spirit, of course, remains there. He typically isn't seen as like an actual figure, but people sense his presence. He is supposed to reside in room 218, which may have been the site of his fatal fall. Female guests, apparently, are favored by Michael, and women staying in room 218 have felt an unseen presence touch them on the shoulder. And while showering, women have been frightened by the curtain suddenly being pulled back, even though no one's in the bathroom with them. That would freak me out.
I'm sorry. He's a pervy ghost?
Yeah. Michael, the pervy ghost. The perviest ghost I know. During a ghost tour, a woman celebrating her 18th birthday wanted to make contact with Michael. So she laid down in the bed in room 218, played Irish folk music, and poured a shot of Irish whiskey in an attempt to summon him.
She just needed to get naked, to be honest.
Apparently, he kept his hands to himself on this occasion. But the woman, her family, and the tour guide all saw the top dresser drawer open on its own. The group made several attempts to reenact this by like stomping on the floor and banging on the dresser, but they couldn't get it to open by itself.
Oh, okay.
So that's like, okay, well, there's a lot of witnesses for that one. Other chilling activities in this room include hands coming out of the bathroom mirror. Okay, well, that feels like a sighting. They said Michael doesn't like to be seen, but maybe that's because he's trapped in the mirror. Doors opening and closing on their own. The sound of a man screaming on the ceiling, and guests seeing his ghost fall through the ceiling before vanishing. So that's a creepy room. That one might be a little too much for me. I probably would not ask to stay in that room.
Nah, I'm not sleeping. That's I might as well just not get a room at the hotel.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not gonna sleep. There's no point. The staff have seen a man in Victorian attire sitting by himself in the dining room near a window. When staff approach the man, he wistfully says, "I saw the most beautiful woman here last night, and I am waiting for her to return." He tends to disappear after that. Wait, they see a man. He says he's waiting for a woman, and then he just poof.
Yep. Oh, it's kind of romantic.
It is. Again, not a creepy ghost.
Yeah.
The other one's a creepy ghost.
Yeah. I like this juxtaposition of the pervy ghost and the romantic ghost.
Yeah.
See, notice how the romantic ghost didn't get trapped in a mirror.
He's waiting by the window. He's not in the room in their bathroom.
Ripping shower curtains open.
Yeah, that's so creepy.
One Christmas, staff had decorated a large Christmas tree in the dining room and placed presents underneath it. The following morning, staff found the tree and presents moved to a different part of the dining room, and the dining chairs were arranged in a perfect circle around the tree. Aw, all the ghosts were having a little gift exchange.
But why?
They want to celebrate Christmas too.
I get the chairs, but why do you have to move the present?
Well, maybe they didn't like where they put the tree and they were like, guys, this would look so much better over here, obviously.
This is our meeting area. Like, what are you doing? A recurring phenomenon happens in a spot on the third floor where the hotel connects to an annex built onto the hotel when it was a hospital. The area has been said to be a portal to the other side. Multiple guests have grown faint, with a few passing out briefly at the same stop on the nightly ghost tour with no reasonable explanation. Okay, strange. The occurrences go in spurts, many happening over several weeks or months, and then none for some time. Guests suddenly turn pale, falling against and then sliding down the wall in a faint. Although the loss of consciousness does not last very long and complete recovery is immediate, it tends to further substantiate the hotel's legendary supernatural connection to the paranormal. Ooh. Is there like a lack of oxygen in this area?
I don't know.
That's creepy.
That is very interesting because it is like a liminal space if it's between where the original hotel was and this annex was built. Yeah.
You know what I think we need to do? Go on this tour.
Go on this tour.
But make sure we eat.
Yeah, I'm not going to be having low blood sugar.
Yeah, what were these people doing before? Like traveling all day, forgot to eat lunch, they're hypoglycemic, and then all of a sudden you tell them a scary story and they're like, oh.
I'm bringing the smelling salts.
Yeah. We need to find out first.
Okay, so this brings us to the portion about when the hotel was a cancer hospital. And I use the term hospital in the loosest sense of the word.
There was no such thing back then, really.
This was why American Horror Story has so much material for making things like Asylum and all of those because of the horrible things people did. So Norman Baker bought the hotel for $40,000 in the late 1930s, painted it purple, that seemed to be his favorite color, and turned it into a cancer hospital from 1937 to 1939. Baker was not a doctor. He was not a doctor. He had been a radio broadcaster, a vaudeville magician. Apparently, he became rich from selling a musical instrument called the air calliophone. He did other things throughout his life, never went to medical school. His hospital also didn't offer, if you could believe it, real oncological treatment, but rather a purported miracle cure.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this cure and his following, apparently he had quite a large audience, really took off because he launched a radio station in 1925 in Iowa with the call letters KTNT, which he said stood for Know the Naked Truth.
Oh, God.
The station broadcast across the Midwest, and Baker used it to, along with a print publication, to promote this cure. He also slandered any of his personal enemies, and also just talked shit constantly about mainstream medicine. A favorite target of his was the American Medical Association, which he once accused of trying to assassinate him.
Is he related to RFK Jr.?
I was gonna say. After hearing about a supposed cancer cure from a man named Charles Ozias, Norman opened the Baker Institute in Muscatine, Iowa in April of 1930. He joined forces with Harry Hoxsey, a known medical fraud, to sell this cure for cancer. The scam apparently brought in $100,000 a month until the Iowa Supreme Court blocked his practice in September of 1931 after a statewide trial. Then the Federal Radio Commission shut down KTNT in June of that year, saying his broadcasts were, quote, venomous, obscene broadcasts against the public interest. But before cops could arrest him for practicing medicine without a license, he fled to Mexico, where he just started another radio station and continued selling this cure.
Imagine if he had TikTok.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, my gosh.
Thank God you can't make claims like that. Like, you can talk about it, but you actually legally can't say,
you can't say this will cure your disease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he stayed in Mexico for a while, but then he ended up buying the hotel property in July of 1937 to turn it into the Baker Cancer Curing Hospital. He went back to Iowa in 1937, spending just one day in jail and paying a $50 fine before being able to come back to Arkansas to run his hospital. One day in jail, really, after all of that. Ridiculous.
Yeah. And did they take away his money? $50. The man was making $100K a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
$100K a month in 1930.
For practicing medicine without a license, that's the fine and the jail time.
Oh my God.
Insanity.
And he went to Mexico, he came back, and it was fine.
Yeah, if you were only going to have to spend a day in jail, why did you flee to Mexico in the first place? I feel like that was 6 years that you could have just... So patients who came to Baker's hospital were promised that if their cancer wasn't cured in 3 to 6 weeks, they could return for more treatment, quote, free of charge except for board, room, and transportation. So not free of charge.
Not free.
According to the court documents in this case. Medical examinations consisted of pinching patients and looking at them and palpitating them. But his facilities did not contain any microscopes or lab equipment of any sort. He also offered guaranteed cures for other conditions like hemorrhoids and varicose veins. And shockingly, also, the cure didn't work for those either, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, my God. A letter was found from a cancer patient, Luther J. Baggett, who stayed in the hospital in late 1938. He wrote about how slow the mail was, the price of staying, and some of the treatments. I could imagine.
Yeah.
Castor oil at 6, tonic at 7, shaved, went to breakfast, took needle treatment back to room on bed with hot pack, have just got back from a little walk and some air. Yes, and carrot juice at 9. They say that all the medicines and food used here are made from vegetables, herbs, roots, and bark. Can't tell yet what they are going to do with my main trouble, but they sure seem to work over your blood and system. They didn't find much the matter with me. My blood was 30 points low, and my main trouble was his blood.
His blood, 30 points low, his blood pressure was 30 points too low?
Yeah, I'm confused. Some people came here and they find several ailments at that they didn't know they had. Oh, they're
I bet.
making up stuff. Okay. That makes it more expensive. The one man came just ahead of me with several ailments, and they charged him $500 a flat rate for 5 weeks treatment without room. Some are saving some money rooming out, but they wanted to be here in the hospital. It seems that most of them they have to stay as much as 5 weeks and some longer. Since the mail seems so slow, you had better let me know soon how you think we are going to get along financially. Guess I will try to stay 3 weeks. If I don't stay any longer, I have $47 now. It will take $3 more for the next week, $50 for the next, and about $30 for a ticket and a little for laundry. About $90 more for 3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
This poor kid.
Like he's writing he's writing in this letter to his wife and children, and just listing all of the treatments, and which everybody seemed to think that, the treatments were all very like holistic, and it's all like roots and herbs and things like that. And they're just charging people out the ass for this crap. And being like, oh, we also found these other ailments you have. Oh, you're going to need to stay 2 more weeks.
Yeah, this is a quack doctor. And I'm sorry, but this sounds really familiar to modern day problems. Yeah. I'm not against some holistic things, but holistic medicine is for like small things, in my opinion. It's like for acid reflux, or like, I remember I was watching actual doctors. They're like, this is some all natural remedies that we agree help. And it's like, yeah, you should take some honey for your throat or something like that. Like, but this isn't going to cure your problems.
Yeah. Like, and they're also like, it's preventative. If you eat well and use these things as your food, then you will be less likely to develop some issues. But roots and herbs are not going to cure your cancer.
No, it's already too late for that.
And the ones that will have already been synthesized and put into cancer medicine.
Yeah, medicine. Everyone's like, medicine's not natural. I'm like, no, it is. It's just like 8 billion times more potent than your holistic things. So it's really funny because like you'll have someone's like tea tree oil for acne, and it's like, why don't you use salicylic acid? And they're like, well, this is natural. I'm like, salicylic acid is made up of the same thing. It's just like way more potent and effective. And you're just putting a diluted salicylic acid on your face. And it just irritates you. You know what else is natural?
Oh, no, you're going on a rant. I don't have time. I'm going to cut it out.
All right. I'm sorry.
So
Poison ivy is natural too.
As a surprise to no one, Baggett passed away a few months later in February of 1939.
From cancer?
Probably. I guess whatever his blood problem was. Or perhaps he passed away from the cure that was given to him, because we're going to get into what was in that cure here in a little while. They know now what was in it.
They do?
Yeah.
Ooh, juicy.
So authorities did try over time to shut down his operations, as we already saw what happened to him in Iowa with his radio station getting shut down. Doctors and scientists also published articles debunking his cure. Obviously, law enforcement had tried to imprison him, which we saw how that turned out. But what finally brought about his downfall were charges of mail fraud for posting materials promoting his cure. He served 4 years in Leavenworth and then retired to Florida, where he lived until his death in 1958. Do not mess with the mail police. I don't know if everybody knows this, but the U.S. Postal Service has its own police, and they are freaking badasses. Like, they do not come after you unless they have a rock solid case. If the mail police ever show up at your door, you're going down. You are going to jail for fraud.
Really? I didn't know anything about the mail police.
Yes. It's actually really interesting. So I watched a movie about the former Olympic speed walking competitor who went to jail for mail fraud for getting like coupons, basically stealing coupons from a factory in Mexico and sending them out to her subscriber list. The way she went to jail was through the mail police. And yeah, and then I also follow this lawyer on TikTok who was talking about how crazy it is to try to, like, she was like, don't try to commit mail fraud. She was like, don't fuck with the mail.
Okay. But then my question is, well, I've been missing mail, and I'm pretty sure it was due to the postal service, not like an average, like.
Yeah, but that's not fraud. That's just incompetence.
It says that at least 44 of Baker's patients died, leading to the belief that many still haunt the hotel. 44, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And yeah, I'm going to haunt that place too. I would just haunt Baker himself. I'd get in a fight if I was a ghost with Baker. One of the most popular rooms at the Crescent Hotel is room 419, which reportedly belongs to a ghost named Theodora. Theodora is a young woman who is believed to have been one of Baker's patients. I told you. Mm-hmm. Her spirit is usually seen standing outside the door of room 419, holding a set of keys.
So Theodora is really well known for tidying up rooms. Like, apparently she tries to help out the housekeeping staff.
Oh.
Which makes me wonder, was she a patient or was she like a nurse or something? But I also read somewhere that she has introduced herself as a cancer patient, which I'm like, well, that's convenient.
She's a plant. She's a plant.
So who knows?
In the old morgue, staff have encountered the ghost of a nurse pushing a gurney. This haunting is so powerful that the sound of the gurney's squeaking wheels can be heard. Oh, that would creep me out. That would creep me out.
No, thank you. Also, the fact that that the hotel has preserved the morgue, that was some very forward thinking, because this is now the part of their ghost tour is that you can go to the basement and see the morgue where Baker did some autopsies.
A hotel maintenance man witnessed all the washers and dryers mysteriously turn on in the middle of the night. The laundry room is located next to Baker's old morgue. Okay, so electrical issues and ghosts are like, they happen. They really like that. They like to.
Mm-hmm. They gotta get their power from somewhere so that they can haunt.
So I'm curious about this part. Then there's Norman Baker himself. Baker's apparition has been witnessed in the hotel lobby. He wears his signature lavender shirt and a white linen suit. That is a weird outfit. Although he died far from the hotel, his spirit was drawn back. We assume.
Maybe so, yeah. Because you would think he wouldn't want to haunt that place. It's not even where he died in Florida, but maybe he didn't have a choice. Maybe he got sucked back over there to do some penance.
I think it's like unfinished business. And also, like, imagine seeing a ghost with a lavender shirt and a white suit. Is
that you, Jay Gatsby?
Yeah. Maybe he was inspired by some people. Yeah,
it was the 30s, so that sort of Southern type suit would make sense, I guess.
That does make sense, yeah. Actually does, yeah.
So in February of 2019, the hospital's dump was accidentally unearthed in the woods in the northeast corner of the hotel's property. The hotel's chief gardener was preparing land for a mulch site, but with the first scoop of a front-end loader, she noticed strange-looking bottles mixed in with the dirt. More than 500 pieces of evidence that had been buried upon the hospital's closure were discovered buried in the earth. The Arkansas Archaeological Survey team from the University of Arkansas was called to conduct a formal dig. The dig showed that the site was not just a dump of bottles over a ridge, but a carefully constructed pit dug by the hospital specifically to bury and hide all of this evidence of what they were doing.
No.
Yeah. The survey team stopped digging after they unearthed about 500 bottles, but they believe the dump could be even larger. And among the items found were serum-style bottles that contain the secret elixir that Baker would inject into his patients.
Oh, no.
So this cure included brown corn silk, red clover, ground watermelon seeds, peppermint, glycerin, all holistic stuff, and carbolic acid.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Can you imagine injecting somebody with carbolic acid?
What is carbolic acid?
It is a highly corrosive and flammable acid that will burn the shit out of your skin.
Oh my God. And they said this was a cure, not the death?
Gee, I wonder why 44 people died. Probably some of them may have been from whatever their disease was, but I bet not all of them. They also found pharmacy-style mixing tools, such as a glass measuring spoon, the blade of a bone saw that was probably used during autopsies and post-mortem experimental surgeries, reels of 16 millimeter promotional films, from which one frame was legible with the words before Baker treatments. So it was like a before and after.
Oh, God.
Video.
It was an infomercial.
Yeah. Well-preserved bottles with what appears to be fleshy tissue still floating in the liquid. So probably medical specimens of like tumors or other cancerous tissues that maybe he would show like prospective patients of what he had been able to remove from others. Or maybe stuff he took out post-mortem. I don't know. Numerous other concoctions and ingredients still in sealed apothecary jars.
Oh my God. But they tried to bury this.
Yeah,
They knew they were full of shit.
Yeah.
They knew they were guilty and they're like, dump it on the black.
So some of these specimens are now on display in the hotel's morgue. So you can see them if you go on a ghost tour. In this morgue are also the original autopsy table and the walk-in cooler where Baker kept cadavers and body jars.
Stop. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
What? He sounds like he was into the dead more than the living.
Or into making people dead. I think he was into the money.
Oh, he's definitely into the money. Charging everyone free of service, but you have to pay with your life. Wow, he was actually a pioneer of gimmicks.
Thanks for listening to Hotel History. You can follow us on most social media platforms, Patreon, and Substack by searching for Hotel History or Hotel History Podcast. To connect or collaborate with us, check out our website at hotelhistorypodcast.com. If you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so we can reach more listeners.